Alright everyone, this is just going to be real quick, as quick as I can do it, just to help some of you understand exactly how you're supposed to be joining and working your clusters. So I've already done my first round of double crochet and then single crochet on top of that. I'm finishing my single crochet round. Just wanted to show you how to join real quick. I'm going to apologize in advance if my hands go out of the frame. This is my second video I've ever made. It's pretty hard for me to crochet around my camera while still keeping my hands in the frame. I tend to move this way a little bit. So I will promise I'll get the important stuff on screen, but I apologize if my hands leave while I'm, doing, 10 of the same stitches or something like that. So real quick, I've already done my increases on this row, so this is going to be stitch 28, just a single crochet. And now looking at your work, if you're following along, you have your chain one space and your first single right here. You're not going to, for every round, even your double crochet rounds, you're going to work into the first stitch, not your chain. That does not count as a stitch. So I'm going to join right there into my first single crochet with just a slip stitch. And now this is going to be round 3 of the pattern. If you're following, I'm going to chain 2 and I'm going to work into that same stitch that I just joined. So you're going to have a chain and a double crochet into that first stitch, and yes, that double crochet does count, just the chains don't count. So there's 1. In this pattern we're going to be chaining 10, so there's, or double crocheting 10. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now my last video I messed up and accidentally did 11, so I'm just going to check real quick that I didn't do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we are going to be working in the post of round 1, so down here. So this is our 10th double crochet. It correlates with this post down here. We're going to leave that guy out. We're going to work into the next post, and you're going to do a front post double crochet cluster. I know I already showed you in another video. I'm just going to kind of repeat myself and show you one more time. So you're going to yarn over, insert under that post just like you would a normal front post double crochet, pull up a loop, and yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops only. You're going to leave these on your hook. You're going to do that 2 more times. Yarn over, insert, pull through the first 2, yarn over, insert, pull through the first 2. So now you should have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. Now looking at the top of your work, here's your 10th double crochet in this stitch right here. This is the stitch that correlates with the cluster you just made. You're going to skip that one and work into the next stitch, and you're going to do that for every round that we have clusters. There should be 1 space between each double crochet constantly, or at least I constantly check the top of my work to make sure that I have 1 stitch in between or it doesn't turn out right. So just double crochet in there. We're going to skip this post that's right next to this cluster because that correlates with this double crochet, and we're going to front post around the next one, around this one. We're going to do that 3 more times for a total of 4 clusters on this row. Okay, so I just did my last cluster. I have 4. And so I'm going to do my last double crochet as part of this set. I still want to make sure that all of my double crochets are 1 stitch apart. They'll have that 1 space in there where my clusters are. So my last double crochet is going to go into this stitch right here. And then for this pattern it says to double crochet another 10 on top of that, and then so I'm going to do that real quick and then show you how to join your double crochets. There's 1, my 9th double crochet, and my 10th. So now you can see, here's my chain 2 from when we started. That does not count as a stitch, so we're not going to just slip in there and join it. That'll create a really obvious seam. So we were going to use this chain to our advantage and kind of hide our seam a little bit. But you are going to chain in almost the same spot. You can see, I don't know if you can see it, right here is a loop from your first double crochet. Since we chained and then worked into that same stitch, they're going to be really close together. But you can see it, this top loop right here. That is your stitch. See, my hook doesn't move. It's a very tight little space. You can kind of see it right there. So you're not going to be working in this chain. You're going to be working right above it where that stitch is. And you're just going to slip stitch in there, and that's how you're going to join. And then this chain helps hide your seam really well. And then you're going to continue with a round of single crochet. You can join the same way. I showed you that earlier. Your clusters are going to be staggered, and it's going to be a pattern of 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. Our first one obviously is 4. So when you do your next round of single crochet and then your double crochet and your cluster round after that, it'll be a 5 cluster. So you're going to be working in the unworked doubles from this round. So you're going to, since it'll be 5, this one's 4, you're going to start a little bit earlier. You're going to start on this post. So this will be where your first cluster is. And then you'll double crochet into the top of this, and then your next cluster will be in this double crochet around this post. And then you'll double crochet here. So you see how it's going to offset each other. They're going to stagger. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then you'll continue around. You're going to just continue that through the entire pattern. Always work in your joining stitch. Don't ever work in the chain. The chain is merely to get your hook or your yarn kind of up there, to get it taller, so you don't have this weird yarn pulling when you do a tall double crochet. It'll just already be up there. That's what your chains are for, and to help hide that seam. So hopefully this clears up any confusion, and you guys can have some really cute gloves out of this. Thanks for watching.